With a rich history of multiple ministries, you would have never guessed that this church had such a dark story behind it. In the early 1900s, Calgary was still a place heavily influenced by religion, but it still attracted new residents with bright opportunities. A young single woman became a teacher here, but she had to abide by strict rules the school imposed on her. Unfortunately for her, she fell in love and was impregnated. Her lover was shipped off to the war and died overseas. Fired from her job and desperate for support, she went to All Nations Full Gospel Church. They turned a cold shoulder away because what happened to her was too scandalous to deal with. Ashamed and devastated, she climbed to the top of the roof and jumped. People in Inglewood would hear a bell chime from time to time, even when the bells were taken out in 1976. Leanne took me to the church that day and told me her experience going there was less than supernatural. But there was a small, creepy washroom inside painted over with white that could not hide the cracks of history the church has lived. Rouge used to be the home of Alfred E. Cross and his wife Helen. They lived together with their 5 children. Mr. Cross played a huge role in the development of Calgary. Some examples include serving as an MLA and becoming one of the Big Four who co-founded the Stampede. 2 children, Helen and Selkirk, fell ill with diphtheria. A.E. Cross went to get medicine for them, but at the time it had to be delivered from Winnipeg, and the children could no longer wait. Selkirk was only 3 and Helen was only 4 when they passed. Workers at the restaurant have seen and heard things being moved, such as 2 chairs in front of the window, like waiting for Mr. Cross to come home with medicine. There have been pots and pans flying around, running sounds upstairs, and doors opening and closing. The ghosts are believed to be Nellie, also known as the 4-year-old Helen, her mother, and A.E. Cross. The father and daughter were seen together sitting near the fireplace. The Rose and Crown pub was originally a funeral home back in 1920. Inside the pub, there was definitely a contrast of the past and present colliding. This pub embraces their eeriness by keeping vintage photos around, but also hides it by blasting Doja Cat on its speakers with multiple TV screens mounted to the walls. Nevertheless, the stairs and the chimney give the understandably creepy vibe. There were also multiple birds that flew to the window that day, and we saw an old man having a conversation with someone invisible. When we got the bill, I asked the waitress if she ever gets scared closing, and she said she tries not to think about it. She was kind enough to show us the picture of the pub star ghost, the little boy, who apparently has his ashes somewhere in the basement. Knox United Church in downtown Calgary is the least scary of all the locations in this video. It really did just seem like a normal old church, but according to the Daily Hive, there have been ghost sightings here, like people praying, knitting, and walking through doors. One funny story is an organist getting slapped on the hand by a spirit for playing incorrectly. The Suitor House is currently a doctor's office, but our story takes place at the time it was a boarding house for railway workers. The staff would live here temporarily until they found their own home. A young couple lived on the 3rd floor, and the husband worked at the railway. A terrible accident happened one day when the train ran over his legs. He did not make it to the hospital in time and passed away. His wife was heartbroken and died soon after. The ghost of the Suitor House is the young widow, who is seen from time to time by locals standing at the balcony with dark curly hair and a long white dress. Sometimes she is only spotted on the 3rd floor at the window. It was so unexpected to hear a loud screeching sound at night. Watch me get startled in this clip. What made the sound was the railway a couple blocks away. Just imagine the terror of being ran over by one of these trains. It helps to visualize the nightmare of what the couple had gone through. Bonus fact! A.E. Cross also lived here at one point. Have a spooky October, and if you're in Calgary right now, you can visit all of these places. Thanks for watching 100 Video Project. See you next video!